A big, warm welcome from Wrexham here in Wales. It's the racecourse ground that will play host to the third and final game of round 2 in the Six Nations. My name is Sonny Ty and thank you for joining me up here in the Northern Hemisphere as it will be the European brethren getting set to take on the Great Britain Lions. The Lions running out to the roar of the Welsh crowd wearing the Welsh red. Europeans wearing their alternate kit for tonight, and what a battle it's going to be. Do or die game for both sides. Win and you stay alive in the fight for a berth in the Six Nations final. Lose and it is all over for one of these teams. And when you've got those sorts of stakes on the line, it has the ingredients to make for a great game here of Simulation Rugby League. Season 9, Six Nations, Game 3 of Round 2 is underway. Wellesley gets us started. Lewis there with the field. Matty Harris on the first run, runs it straight at Jago Maikazi. And we'll start with the Europeans. What a brave effort it was for them against Australia last week. They were down but never out. And a bit of a forward pass there, it looked like it, but nonetheless, referee will play on. But the Europeans, 24-24, entering the 70-minute mark before Blake Harris slotted the go-ahead field goal for Australia. And Mark Lee was the one to seal the game, 31-24. A lot of Europeans in attendance here tonight, not nearly as much as there were in Manchester last week, but still a healthy contingent. And for the Great Britain Lions, and a loss for them last week against the Kiwis, 32-24. But again, it was the resilience from both these two sides that really shows the character that they're made of, and it's going to be an entertaining one to watch here tonight. Very exciting, so competitive. Few changes being made for both teams. Blair Curtin will take the hooker role for the Lions at hooker. And for the Europeans, Sneeko Balboa and Jake Scott will make up the front row, with Oli Pache being moved to the bench to provide additional impact, which can be crucial in the grand scheme of this game, particularly through the middle. That forward pack battle, Luke Short, Jordan Lewis, Anthony McDonald, Matty Harris, Jago Maikazi, Wally Allen. It's all happening. Fifth and last, the Europeans play the ball. Michael McLucky gets a good kick away, playing at halfback for tonight, swapping with Daniel Hallier. Jacob Morrison on the left wing, nearly gets away. Don Ponkston does enough to tap the ankle and slow him down. Brought down in a good tackle by the Europeans. Now the Lions on the counter. And we are coming to you from Wrexham here in Wales, not too far off from the home of Jordan Lewis, the sole Welsh representative in this side, this Great Britain side, and he's done so much great work throughout the week locally. Really making the most of this game here tonight. Fifth and last now, 5 minutes in. The Great Britain Lions already inside the red zone. They drop it to the pocket. Butterfield sends it high, and it is all but too easy for Dom Ponkston. A great take there from Dom Ponkston. And the conditions not the best here tonight. It's been raining all evening here in Wales, and it will definitely have its part to play in this game. So maybe both teams will just focus on running it up, play more direct instead of expansive, as Daniel Hallier now will get them shy of the 40. Second tackle, and the Europeans. Oh, short ball from Short to Sneeko. And Sneeko doing a good job to save that ball there as they enter the British half. Through Don Ponkston, steps back inside. And the battle of Ponkston and Clay is going to be a beautiful one to watch here tonight. Although maybe beautiful is not the best adjective to describe just how brutal this game might be. As Luke Short sends it high, perfectly placed, but Ethan Goodwin is there to catch it. Great take from Ethan Goodwin. So we've got a Kyle Lewis now on the right edge, playing at halfback tonight. Josh Butterfield in at 5'8" for the British. Jordan Lewis now to the wall of the crowd, gets a nice run up. In front of the 30 they go, still in their own half as they shift it left. Justin Dolan gets past one but brought down for tackle. And off the noggin Blair Curtin, but it's Wood play on once again. And that's 2 no calls for the Brits going their way. The EU side cannot be happy about that. As Jordan Lewis now 5th and last, he'll just stab it towards the corner of Xavier Demando. Demando on the right wing, steps 2, and Tyrone Clay, good tackle to bring him down. Not much give between these two sides at the moment as they go to Wally Allen, and Allen will just take a settler. Gets him about 42, 43 from their own try line. McLucky catching that one flat-footed and just decides to run it. As they approach British half through Luke Shaw. Big Fen hits a little inside out. What a goosey. Not bad from the big fella at all. Looking to have a huge game. One of the OGs of this European side. Oh, filthy dummy Michael McLucky. Sound the alarms. He's going to try and barge over for a try out up short. 5th and last. Where will they go? The Europeans drop back in the pocket. Howie is there. It's a grubber. And it's saved by Luke Driscoll. Great stuff from Driscoll. Clutch under the pressure. But it was a good build in the set from the Europeans. As Dustin Richards now playing in at the left second row spot. Shrugs one off on the contact. And a chance goes begging for the Europeans, but on the counter-attack, the British, there they go through Tyrone Clay. Gets him to the halfway now. No fullback in position. They get the offload. Curtin's there to take it. Gets him inside opposition 40. They drop back deep. Dustin Richards. Oh! He puts off a bit of a trick play. Caught that one awkward. Gets past the line. Nearly shrugs off the defender. 5th and last now. 11 played here from Wrexham as we see Butterfield just stabs it. It's a good kick. And Crimp will take it out onto touch. And what a great kick there from Josh Butterfield. Delivered on a tee and Crimpy with no choice but to field it. And he didn't have much space to work with. So now the Lions with a good chance inside the red zone. As Curtin gets us back on the way, throws it out towards Matty Harris. Jordan Lewis straight through the middle, crowd on their feet once again. The Welsh Dragon gets him about 5 metres away. First tackle, inside ball, Dusty Richards held up, good defence there. Second now, the British go right. Short side, oh, Butterfield just gets folded. Turned on his back, 3rd tackle now. Flat ball, Lewis, 6 again. Richards just has to put it down. Turn on his back, no, I think he's got it. I think it's going to be a try to the British. Oh, what a try there, Dustin Richards. Scoring last week as well. And it should be green lights here from Wrexham, Great Britain Lions. Getting the first points of the game. 13 minutes played here. That was all off the back of a great kick by Joshua Butterfield, forcing a mistake from Europe. And they capitalise here to take the first points. And a very rainy evening here from Wales. A great crowd in attendance as Kyle Lewis slots it. And 6-0 is the score. And after Monday night's win for the Kiwis against Ireland, Great Britain, if they win here tonight, they will stay alive in the fight for a berth in the final. But if they lose and the Europeans get the W here tonight, that will mean that the New Zealand Kiwis will qualify for the final. So a lot riding on this game, a lot of eyes on it for tonight's encounter and what it's going to mean for the equation of the finals, or the final. The 2 top nations in Pool A and Pool B will go on to face for the big one in Manchester just 2 weeks away. As the Brits now shift it out towards Luke Driscoll, gets him in front of their own 40. They might line up in formation for a kick here. They play the ball slowly, they just watch it go. And Kyle Lewis now Forced to kick it away. It's a good kick. It's got the angle. It doesn't have the bounce, however. Pongston will be forced to return it. And he's got a bit of space now, Pongston. Oh, he nearly gets around Tyrone Clay on the outside. A great stop by Tyrone Clay. Sneeko Balboa straight through the middle. European vice-captain looking to lead by example as he gets him shy of the 40 inside British half now. Second tackle, they play the ball left. Luke Short gives it to Mike Cuzzy. And Mike Cuzzy will just take it about 34 from the line. Third tackle, the European shifted left. That was a questionable pass. Hell yeah, dishes it out to Crimp, and Crimpy will just take the tackle. Fourth now, the Europeans shift it back inside. Jake Scott. Shy of the 20, but fifth and last. 61 gain on the set. The EU side, give it to Hell yeah. Hell yeah puts in a grubber, but there's no one there to chase it up. Luke Short just didn't have the gas. And Anthony McDonald does a good job to clean it up, bring it back around or in front of their red zone. And what a great kick there from Hell yeah. If he just had someone a bit quicker in support, that could have been a great try from them, but now the Europeans find themselves on the fence. They go to Matty Harris, who will just straighten up at Luke Short. A lot of bickering going on between the two forwards throughout this week. Oh, sorry, not Luke Short. Sneeko, I should say. Jake Scott, A-Mac Harris. Bit of banter. You love to see it. Oh, Shanker kick straight to McLucky. And the Europeans now find themselves with a good set on the halfway line. They dish it all the way out to Daniel Hellier. Second tackle now. They're back in the middle. Short dishes it. Sneeko finds a gap, but he can't poke his head through. Third tackle. Not much progress on this set for the Europeans. Flat ball to Alan Elf to Slugger. And the Europeans struggling to make meters once again. So they go back through the middle. Luke Short. Big don't argue. Gets offload to Jake Scott. And a bit of magic there from Luke Short. European veteran, fifth and last now as we enter the second quarter of this game. Hell yeah, sends it up high. It's swirling. Clay's there. Steps one. Tyrone Clay. Oh, the Suns back on the field. Can they catch up to him? Oh, and it's an offside call. That should be a professional foul. That should be a send-off right there. The British crowd, the Welsh crowd are absolutely hammering the ref. But it was a necessary sacrifice that had to be made. I think it was Oli Pache that stopped an absolute certain try from being scored, but it's a controversial call. It should have been a professional foul. And the Europeans find themselves with the rub of the green on that call, you'd have to say. And how will that impact the outcome of this game when it's all said and done? In open space, Jacob Morrison! Try time! Great bit in, and what a score from the Green Corn Road player. Jacob Morrison, take a bow. Had all the space in the world, just gets past Armando. And Pongston couldn't get up to him in time. As we see the Welsh flag in the background. 10-0 is the score. 21 played here. Kyle Lewis with a conversion right from the sideline. There'll be a tester and they'll swing it. It looks good. Off the post. Oh, and it just falls short. One more degree of rotation. They could have just as easily bounced over, but 10-0 is the score now. The Europeans, you have to say, they are finding themselves in a tug of war at the moment, almost with themselves. And you just had to expect Great Britain to turn up in front of this home crowd. First ever SRL game to be played here in Wales. And it's been a privilege as always travelling across this part of the world as we see Jordan Lewis through the middle. Crowd on their feet for him as we see him play the ball in front of the 30. Oh, and Ruben Mobbs just runs it straight into a brick wall, also known as Luke Short. Third tackle, they dish it right. Tyrone Clay there, takes it up. Still shy of the halfway line. The Brits now You give it to Ruben Mobbs, and Mobbsy will just take the contact. Season 9 Sea Eagles skipper playing off the bench tonight, 5th and last now to go in the pocket. Kyle Lewis stabs it towards Crimpy. Crimpy trying to find some open space, but nothing doing there. And Great Britain, you have to say, it looks like they've done a good job at just wearing out this European outfit. They're struggling a bit on attack, not much creativity happening at the moment. They play the ball. Oli Pache, what a unit he's been for Europe in the trials and last week. In my opinion, one of the best performers there. Bit of a surprise to see him start off on the bench. But the impact that he can bring, especially against the fatigued forward pack, that could really be something to watch out for as McLucky just boots it down towards the corner of Jacob Morrison. Steps one, Jacob Morrison cuts back in field, just has to get past Ponkston, and Jacob Morrison will march it all the way down the field for try to Great Britain. Morrison with his second on the night. And it is turning into quite the party here for the Lions. Jacob Morrison on that left wing, cut back in field. Ponkston just couldn't catch up to him. Last ditch attempt to try and tap the ankle. Goes in vain. And now with a kick to come, Kyle Lewis will slot this one. To give the Lions a 16-0 lead, and yes he does. 25 minutes played in your second round, third and final game of this round between Great Britain and Europe on SRL TV. And to catch you up on the results, it was the Kiwis getting over the Island Wolfhounds 36-16 on Monday night. And just last night, from Hull KCOM Stadium, it was the Aussies, the Kangaroos, getting over Pacifica 22-12. Uncharacteristic game from Pacifica. A lot of mistakes in the Aussies. Now in the prime seat, the driver's seat to make the final. Their qualification isn't guaranteed yet, but if they beat the Kiwis next week, they will be through. If New Zealand beat Australia next week, that means Pacifica will have to beat Europe, and pending points differential, Pacifica could potentially sneak into the final. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays off. Reverse inside out play. It's a big play there, and risky one early in, inside their own half. And off the noggin, Michael McLucky throws another filthy dummy, shrugs one off. Michael McLucky, what a game he's having so far. And a mistake from the Brits, now turns it over. Slow play the ball, Wellesley gets it to Allen. Pache now, he'll end up with it. Shy of the red zone, second now. The Europeans looking to get their first points of the game on the board. As Maikazi takes the contact, third, where will they go? Movement to the left, but they shift it right. McLucky, why not? Gets him inside the 10, 4 tackle. They're lining up here, where will they go? I think it's going to be left side, flat ball to Maikazi. Just runs it straight. Can he barge over? Maikazi scores! And the Europeans should have their first points of the game. We're going to send it upstairs, but Maikazi, my goodness, what a try. And he will just run it straight over the British defender. Mano a mano stuff, green lights here from Wrexham. And the Europeans finally on the board with their first points of the game. Kick to come from Kieran Wells. And Wellesley should slot this one from the left-hand side. And he does so. 16-6 is the score. Just under half an hour played here from Wrexham. It is the Lions with the lead over the Brethren. And what has been an absolutely competitive game. It's what you expect in international footy. Both teams putting up a resilient performance last week despite coming away with the loss. And it is do or die for both of them win and the dream stays alive. Lose and it is all over with nothing but pride to play for next week. And a held in tackle penalty given away there. And Great Britain starting to let their foot off the gas. The Europeans get a kick away to get the set restart. Hell yeah sends it. Minutes played. Wellesley gets us back on the way and they shift it towards Mike Huzzy. The only try scorer for the EU at the moment. First tackle. 45 from their own line. They go left. Hell yeah shifts it out. Jordan Marshall on the left edge there. Coming in off the bench with Pache. It's Crimp. Gives it back. Mike Huzzy. Very active in these past couple sets. Could he be the one to help break open this game for the Europeans as Ponkston nowhere to go, driven back. What tackle? They go left side. Oh, it's a mistake there, knock on. And Europe just throwing that one away. Literally, and Ruben Mobbs there to take the first tackle. And it's a held in tackle penalty called against Europe this time. Frustration starting to creep in for the blue and golds. As you can see, Anthony McDonald just telling his boys to keep a level head. Keep cool. They got the lead here. They've got the momentum on their side now. Full set inside European half as Lewis gets them. 25 from the line. They shift their left. Ruben Mobbs gets him inside the half. Second tackle. Yeah, right. Driscoll inside steps. Tyrone Clay. Oh, I thought he was over, but great defense there, closing the gap. The Europeans showing some desperation. Flat ball, Butterfield driven back. Fourth tackle. Where will they go? They're going to shift their right to Dustin Dolan, swinging it. Tyrone Clay steps one, and it's a try time. Great Britain, and what a try from Tyrone Clay. They reply with one try of their own. The jubilation of this crowd and Tyrone Clay gets his first try of the night, and that play was executed to perfection on the Lions. Tell you what, it's going to be a tough conversion for Kyle Lewis though. He's had a couple of testers early in his first half. He'll try and swing it left to right. Does it have enough? Just fades out towards the end. 20-6 is the score. The home nation Great Britain Lions with the 20-6 lead. And Ponkston just telling his boys to stick to the plan and hold on to the footy. You don't want any more damage to be inflicted. Goes back on the way, and Brad Goodwin off the bench. Now gives it to Butterfield, nearly turned over, but Driscoll doing a good job to hold on to that ball. Black ball out. Dustin Richards now takes the contact, two-man tackle there to meet him. Just shy of the 40. Tyrone Clay, watch out, back through the middle, steps one, gets the offload away to Jordan Lewis. And the Lions not afraid to throw this one around despite the conditions. Trick play. Oh, beautiful pass there to Dusty Richards. Nearly had them turned inside out once again. Fifth and last, they play the ball just shy of the 10. They drop in the short pocket. Butterfield sends it high. Who's going to be there to contest it? It's Michael Crimp. And a great job from Crimpy. That was a pressure bomb there. And Michael Crimp, one of the standouts for the Europeans. Another held and tackle penalty called. Referee giving out a sin bin warning to the Lions, saying enough's enough. And understandably so. The Lions doing their best to try and just work the clock. But the referee not having it. Riley Murray, your official for tonight's game. So if there's controversial calls to be made, blame him. Send them a DM and let them know exactly how you feel. The second tackle now. Pache with a great run. McLucky back inside. Don Ponkston. They're doing a great job at shutting down Ponkston. So they go. McLucky dishes it to Wally Allen, and Wally Allen battles to get him to the 10. Fourth tackle now. The Europeans running out of plays, running out of time, running out of space. But they go to Demando. Does a good job to stay infield. Fifth and last. Where are they going to go with the kick? They drop back. It's Luke Short. Luke Short sends it high. Who's going to be there to contest it? It's Ethan Goodwin. Tucks a Yui after the catch. And a great defuse there from Ethan Goodwin. The Europeans just a bit lackluster on attack. The fifth tackle options have not been their strong suit. You have to say they'll just be looking to run out the clock, get into the sheds, and readjust the game plan. It is all or nothing for them tonight, do or die for both teams in fact. Win and you march on, lose and it's all over. No hope to make the final. No team wants that. No team wants to go home early. Everyone wants to be at the big dance on the big day. Demando on the return. Just 20 seconds left until half time. Wally Allen finds space on the right edge. Taken there in a good tackle by Tyrone Clay. Will he get the playoff in time? Yes, he does. One more roll of the dice. The EU shift it, but it'll be taken. Mike Huzzy. 20-6 is your score at half time. We'll see you in the second. Yes, good evening and welcome back for your second half. The third and final game of round 2 in the Six Nations. It's Great Britain and Europe. The Lions holding a 20-6 lead over the Brethren. And it was just all Great Britain in that first half. And still a fighting chance here, the Europeans. But they will need to start that comeback right now. You'd have to say they have to be the first to score, or this game could just be well out of reach here. Only down by 14. A 3-score game. And the Welsh crowd loving the action that they've seen tonight, obviously with the lead. But can the Europeans fight back? The British have looked strong all night. Not really much chink in their armour. Fifth and last now. Europeans inside British half, but they drop back to McLucky. McLucky just sends it downfield towards the corner of Jacob Morrison. He's already scored a double. And the two green-haired players doing battle on that return there. They shift it to Sadler now. Subchecks now cleared for both teams. As the Lions give it back inside to Joshua Butterfield, who will just take the run up. To the 30 he goes, back inside they go. Matty Harris shrugs one off. Matty Harris, the big unit, gets the offload to Blair Curtin. The two Roosters linking up on the play. Fourth tackle, whether they go. And oh, Matty Harris, big mistake there, big man, getting in the way. And that's a knock on. The Europeans now with a chance inside opposition half they go. The Europeans now go back towards the middle. Ollie Pache now back on in the second half. Pairing alongside Jake Scott. Lee Simon as well coming on. Third tackle to shift it right. McLucky. Oh, taken off the ball. Bo Sadler there to scoop it up. And the chance goes begging once again for the Europeans. It just hasn't really been their night. Tyrone Clay breaks the right edge, back to the middle he goes. And the Brits now looking dangerous on this set. A win tonight will keep their final hopes alive. But they will do battle with Ireland next week. Ireland will be looking to take someone down with them after their loss to New Zealand. Officially ruling them out of contention. Angie Slugger back through the right side. He's just got to get past Morrison. And Morrison doing a great job to take him down. No fullback in position. They try and shift it opposite side. Dummy from Daniel Hellier. But a good cover tackle from the Brits now. Where do they go? Don Pongston steps one, cuts in field. Play there to meet him. Pongston can't get across the line. Turn on his back. Third tackle. The Europeans with a great look now. Where will they go? Inside. McLucky takes it. Will he barge over? Michael McLucky! Try time for the Europeans. And we'll send it up to the bunker. But I think McLucky's got that down for all money. Running it straight at Blair Curtin and just tunneling his way to put that ball down. And Team EU back on the board with another try. Their second of the night. And that will change the complexion of this game. 20-10, kick to come from right in front. For all money, Kieran Wells will slot this. To the boos of the British crowd, the Welsh crowd. And it's successful. 8-point deficit now. The Europeans with a glimmer of hope, only down by 8. And still a lot of time left in the second half. Great Britain don't want to let this lead slip away. We saw what happened in the trial game against Australia, where they had a very healthy lead. 22-6, I believe it was, with about 55 minutes played. And the Europeans now fighting to keep their final hopes alive. Oh, and Luke Short! He gets absolutely smashed in the tackle. Spills his lollies. And I think the ref's even going to call a scrum here. Say it isn't so. Oh no, it's bad to worse. The rare scrum has occurred. This could be ugly. This could be dangerous. Tyrone Clay steps one, but great defense there. And the British now already at the red zone. They go to Jordan Lewis and Curtin. Oh, and he drops it. And Curtin gets folded now. Tit for tat. Anything you can do, I can do better. And Curtin coughs that one up now. It's getting physical. It is getting very competitive out there on the field. Both these teams do not want their chances, do not want their hopes to slip. They are both fighting. David Nofalingawi on the left edge. Gets him shy of the 30-second tackle. The Europeans with the momentum on their side. They go to Hellier inside to Luke Short. Luke Short takes the head up now. Third tackle. Gets across the red zone on this set. But they'll go through Pongston. Dangerous look there, Don Pongston. If he hit that gap, he could have been gone for all money as Luke Short now winds it up. Gets him about 7 from the line. Fifth and last 50 played. The Europeans drop it in the pocket. It's Hellier. Hellier sends it high. Swirling. Who's there? It's Goodwin. Steps one. And a great catch there once again by Ethan Goodwin, who's been very good under the high ball. And that one just gets away from the EU. But you gotta like the fight that they are showing. The character is Ethan Goodwin. Just needs to get past Pongston. Ethan Goodwin is still going. Third tackle inside the red zone now in the blink of an eye. The British in opposition half. Oh, nearly away there. Blair Curtin just holds it. Fourth tackle, flat ball, Matty Harris. Very flat. 87 gained on this set for the Lions. Fifth and last. They look around. They scan the field. Butterfield, grubber. Watch out, it's Driscoll. Try time, Great Britain. Riley Murray points to the spot and the Lions with another reply. An answer for the European try just before. And a great ball there from Butterfield. What a game he's having tonight. Luke Driscoll just had to hit his gap, hit his line, and put that sucker down. There you go, Luke Driscoll. Great Britain. Their hopes are looking all right now. They get that buffer back on the brink of the 30-point line. Sky Lewis from the right-hand side sends it, stays in, And it's good. 26-12 is your score on the racecourse ground here in Wrexham, Wales. And what a game this has turned out to be. Has not been Europe's best performance, but they've been well within the fight. But that one right there, that could take a lot of sting out. They've still got just under half an hour to play. No more let up, no more conceding any more points. It has to be them from here on out. And they've got a battle to do against this Lions side that has just looked far better, more clinical. And it's almost reminiscent to the game last night with Australia and Pacifica. You know that Pacifica didn't play their best footy, and yet they still found themselves in the battle. The same story can be told for the Europeans, but they've still got a lot of time left to right the ship, as we see Curtin now play the ball to Sadler. He cuts it back to Butterfield. Big kick return needed here from the Europeans. Angie Slugger there on the wing. Cuts one. Just has to squeeze through the gap. Can't split the defence there. But a great run on the return. Michael McLucky dishes it to Jake Scott. Gets him inside British half now. Second tackle. They go left. Howyer to Mike Huzzy. And Mike Huzzy just takes the contact. Third tackle now. Will they go, Europe? Howyer swings it out wide to Michael Crimp. Watch out, Crimpy. Doing a good job to stay inside. They go back. Kieran Wells inside to Jake Scott. Driven back. 65 gained on the set. Fifth and last. Where will they go? Team EU. They play it in the pocket. It's Howyer. It's a perfectly placed kick. Who's going to be there? Oh, Tyron Clay. Great job to catch it, but they might drive him back in goal. And no, they won't. Tyron Clay stays in touch. Maybe a bit of help there from the goal padding. I'll tell you what, that was a perfectly placed kick there from Howyer. Just no kick chase fast enough or quick enough to get to the high bomb. The great defensive set here from the Europeans, holding the Brits inside their own 30. Fourth tackle they play. Lewis, flat ball. Matty Harris just takes it. But then last, only 26 gained here for the Lions as we approach the final quarter of this game. Kyle Lewis, crossfield kick. Slugger's there. Slugger pokes his head through, shrugs one off, but he can't get past Tyrone Clay. Tyrone Clay has just been an absolute anchor on defense this whole game. And the brethren go to Mike Huzzy. Blackball to Jake Scott. Jake Scott winds up with it. Fourth tackle now. Europeans struggling to make meters on these past couple of tackles. So they go out wide. Bobby Werman off the bench into the second row spot on the right. He goes. Fifth and last. What's the plan? What's the play? Howyer with a grubber. Oh, it's knocked on. But no, the referee's not going to call it. I thought it was touched there by a British defender. I thought it was played at, but referee says otherwise. And a good offload there to Lockie Cox, who jumps back on through the middle. And just a quick sub check coming up here. 60-minute sub-check cleared there for the Lions. Blair Curtin, big don't argue. And the British on home soil looking to try and finish this game with a victory. They just got one more quarter left. Do they have a quarter tank of gas left in the tank? Oh, shanker kick from Curtin. And it's going to be 6 again. Slugger nearly getting driven out of bounds there, and I'm surprised we're not calling that one back for play the ball, but here we go. As Mike Huzzy takes it now. The European sub-checks now cleared. Oli Pache not wanting to get off the field, but Nico Balboa telling him get off, it's my turn. And the Europeans playing for their final hopes, playing to stay alive in this tournament. They're one of the unique nations in this tournament that was founded by the community alongside Pacifica. One of the foundational pieces of international footy. And they don't want to go down wandering. They don't want to go down without a fight. And they're certainly putting up a good one. Fifth and last. Hell yeah. Can't get the grubber. Amax scoops it up one hand. And it goes begging once again. It's been that sort of a night for the Europeans. I can empathise. It is frustrating to watch when you know you're not playing your best footy. It is even worse when it's up against a side that's playing their best footy, but Jaeger Maikazi comes up with an absolutely crucial interception. There for the Europeans, a full set of 6 now. Hell yeah, shifts are left to the Mano. And there you go. Maybe I flap my gums a bit too early. And I'm not going to pull the trigger on the Europeans' hopes just yet. But McLucky, here they go. Team EU, you have to think they need to score off this set. They won't get too many better looks. Short. Maikazi taken off the ball. And a no call once again. The brethren have to feel hard done by. Just feels like they haven't got much rub of the green. And Lockie Cox there through the left edge, but he flicks the offload to Butterfield. 26-12 is your score, 65 minutes played. Your Six Nations coverage on SRL TV, proudly brought to you by TBC Live as always. Josh Butterfield gets a good kick into open space. Ponkston from his own goal line. Can he go all the way? No, he's met there, wrapped up in great cover defence from the Lions. And they just have not let Ponkston get through at all tonight. It just feels like he's had a target on his back throughout this whole game. And Don Ponkston, the heart of this European team. Take out the heart, the body will follow. That's probably not how the saying goes, but they've done a good job to keep him contained. Maikazi trying to find that space, but won't get past Matty Harrison Curtin. Fifth and last, the Europeans. Where will they go with the kick? Daniel Hellier sends it towards the sideline. It'll bounce. It's a good kick. They're going to leave it, and Jacob Morrison with an absolute brain fart of a play. He watched it. It was over. He just had to leave it, and all of a sudden he just jumps the gun too early. Too keen to get his hands on the ball. And there you go. The Europeans, just when you feel like they're down and out, somehow, some way, they're in the fight. They're in the fight, and it's great to see. Crowd getting behind the players now as we see the Mando shifts it to Maikazi. Maikazi being all over the ball here tonight. He's been an absolute Mustang for this European side. I don't know where Mustang came from. McLucky, post-contact meters, shy of the line. Do they dart from dummy? Flat ball, Maikazi! Touchdown! European brethren. And what a great ball there. They're still well within the fight, the Europeans. And you have to say they needed to score there. A beauty of a pass there. Not sure who it was from. Probably Wellesley. But Maikazi, he deserves a try tonight for his efforts. And just when you think it's all and done, the Europeans say nuh-uh. Kieran Wells slots it from the left side to cut the deficit down. 26-18, the Lions leading here. 10 minutes to go from Wales. A 2-score game now. The Europeans, they have to score the next 2 tries. And strap yourselves in on SRL TV. Everyone watching from around the world. Australia, New Zealand, the Northern Hemisphere. You do not want to miss the ending of this game. The Europeans keeping their final hopes alive. Bobby Werman through the gap. Offload. McLucky Cox a dummy back, but he'll be taken in a good tackle from Lockie Cox. Second now. The Europeans flat ball to Werman, and it's forward. And the Welsh crowd now up on their feet. That is a huge dagger blow for the Europeans and their momentum. Bobby Werman just running his line too early. And the forward pass call gives the Brits a prime look inside opposition half. Third tackle inside the 30. Flat ball to Driscoll. Inside to Kyle Lewis. Red zone territory now for the Brits. They shift their left. Clay outside to Morrison looking for a Hattie. Won't get there. Fifth and last. One last roll of the dice for the Brits on this set. They go to Harris. Grubber. Straight through Tyrone Clay. Try time. Great Britain. And that is game, set, and match for the Lions. You have to say they're going to come away with the win here tonight. An absolute brilliant display from them. And you can't fault the effort of the Europeans, but Great Britain just doing the better job of capitalising, finishing the chances off. And look at that, Tyrone Clay with his double. And the Great Britain Lions, they roar as one. The atmosphere has been rocking all night, and it's going to continue well into the night, you'd have to say, maybe for the next few nights. This will officially be the first ever international win for Great Britain in the 13-a-side game. 32-18 is the score, 8 minutes remaining. And Great Britain, they march on. They give themselves a chance at hope now. And here's what has to happen for them to make the final next week. They need the Kiwis to lose by a big margin, you'd have to say, or by a sizable margin. We'll have to confirm the ladder, the placings, the points differential after this round, after this game in fact. But the Lions, they need New Zealand to lose against Australia next week, and they need to win their game against Ireland. If they can do that, they will be a genuine shot at making the final. This game, this win is so pivotal for them. And a big kudos to Anthony McDonald. He keeps his team in the fight for the Europeans. You've got to feel sorry for them. We know this wasn't their best footy. And despite not playing their best footy, they never gave up. I know there's still 6 minutes to go, but the deficit too much to overcome now. And Lee Simon doing a great job to catch that kick. Morrison was lurking. If he got his hands to it, he could have been gone all the way. Bobby Werman through the right edge. I'll tell you what, Bobby Werman has had quite a stint in the second half. A better game than last week, and he's really helped break open that side of the field. Mike Hussey gets an offload, taken off the ball. It's play on. Big fend from Jake Scott. And third tackle, the referee has not ruled 6 again. The Europeans have to feel hard done by. Back through Kieran Wells. Never say die attitude from the Europeans. You have to admire it. They go right. Hell yeah, back inside to Sneeko Balbroa. Balbroa wrapped up by Matty Harris. Fifth and last now. One last chance for the Europeans. Hell yeah, sends it high. Hail Mary, who's there? And it's the easiest kick for Jacob Morrison to defuse. No kick chase pressure whatsoever. And Anthony McDonald just levels Jago Mike Hussey. There's no mercy being shown from this British side. They're going to walk away with a victory in front of the home fans. And a do-or-die game for the Lions next week against Ireland. They need to win it next week to stay a chance of making the final. And they need the Kiwis to lose. As we see them shifted inside, Dustin Richards. Inside the 30 they go. Fifth and last, 46 metres gained on the set. Great Britain send it to Kyle Lewis. Shanker kick straight to Daniel Hellier. won't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. Crowd in full voice. They're going to be popping the champagne here. Well, maybe not that too far. They haven't won the final yet, but they'll be cracking open a few cold ones, you'd have to say. Well-deserved victory from Great Britain tonight. Keeps them alive in the Six Nations for the Europeans. It is all but over for their hopes of making a final. And you cannot fault the character. You cannot fault the resilience. We know how passionate they are when it comes to international footy. And it's been a privilege to watch them play here. They've still got one more game next week against Pacifica. And we know what that rivalry's like. The Europeans no doubt will want to send it off on a high note. And they could take Pacifica down with them. If they win next week in Perpignan, France, if they beat Pacifica, then Pacifica will not qualify for the final and Australia will be through from Pool A. Less than 10 seconds to go now. Crowd counting down. Here we go. Siren goes. And full time, 32-18, Great Britain over the European brethren. It is a win that keeps them in the fight for the final. Huge game against Ireland next week for the Brits, the Europeans. They are officially out of contention, but a brave effort from them. As we take a look at your TBC Live stats, Tyrone Clay and Jacob Morrison, both with a double. Luke Driscoll and Dusty Richards with a try to their name. Mike Hussey, a double to his name with Michael McGluckie. Pie there as well. 58% possession for England. 25 from 29 completed sets. The Europeans 19 from 26. Errors 6 compared to the Europeans 9 errors. Both teams conceding 2 penalties. Tackle count 8 more from the brethren. Just 179 compared to 171. Missed tackles on par and the line breaks on par as well. But the Brits just doing a better job of looking after the footy and capitalising off their chances. Jacob Morrison, 2 tries to his name, 182 run meters. He was one of the standout performers of this game. Dustin Richards as well, 174. Blair Curtin playing out hooker. And yes, Blake Curtin did play at hooker. I don't know why it's saying 65. I'm missing something here, but Tyrone Clay, 156 run meters, double to his name. Sadler and Lewis all over the century mark. Butterfield, Goodwin, Lewis and Matty Harris all in the 90 range. 4 run meters. 7 missed tackles from Dustin Dolan, but besides that, defense was relatively staunch. You know, the Europeans really struggling to find gaps in the defensive lines. They did turn it up in the second half, but the British were just on point here tonight. From the get-go, you could tell they wanted it. And what a game. Their first 13-a-side victory here in Wales. We'll take a look at the European brethren. Here in Wales leading the way, 185, their hooker for tonight. Michael McGluckie, I thought he was an incredible standout for them tonight. Jaeger Maikazi as well, a double to his name. He never stopped trying, he never gave up. Luke Short there in amongst it. Stugger Ponkston in the mono all over the century mark as well, but Ponkston only held to 106 meters. It's not really the numbers that we're used to seeing from Ponkston, and that's just a testament to how good the British defense was tonight. Keeping him marked was obviously a priority, and they executed it to perfection. The Europeans really struggling off the attacking play, and Ponkston usually the one that's right in and amongst it, leading the way. Lee Simon, only 17 run meters from his 3 runs. Wasn't as good as performance last week where he scored that beauty of a try coast to coast, but even Michael Crimp held to 18. Very, very rare we see a player like Michael Crimp held to that low of a number, and I'll tell you what, that just goes to show how well this British side shut down this European backline. To hold guys like Crimp and Ponkston to those sorts of numbers, it just goes to show how much of a nightmare they were for this European side. Give my quick thoughts to the brethren. My hat's off to you. unfortunately does rule them out of final contention, but they've got one last grudge match against Pacifica. And I'll tell you what, this is going to be the game that they're going to turn up and play their best footy, I reckon. It just feels like this is going to be the game where if they're down, they're going to take someone out with them. And who else besides Pacifica? These two sides going back to the first ever stadium that they played at next week in Perpignan. A lot of blood there, a lot of history between the two. So the Europeans will look to end their tournament on a high. But for the British, they march on. One game, one win. They need to win this one against Ireland, and they need the Kiwis to lose next week against Australia. If they can win next week and the Kiwis lose, the Lions will be through to the final. But if they win next week and the Kiwis win as well, they will be out. And if they lose to Ireland, then they'll be out as well. So it's do or die from here on out. They need a bit of luck to go their way, and that is what makes this all so entertaining, also emotionally investing to see what will happen in the third and final round. My name is Sonny Tyre. Thank you so much. If you've tuned in tonight, if you've tuned in across this whole week, the second round of Six Nations footy, what a week it's been. One more round left for all Six Nations, and this will decide, this will determine who will book their spot to the Six Nations final in Manchester. It all kicks off next week from Monday. Join us on SRL TV. Have a good week. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. And we will see you on SRL TV next week for the third round of the Six Nations.
Seize the day.